welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have a very special guest, my friend and brother Kolawole. So if you guys remember the video that I made on how we relocated to the video, and I kept on mentioning Kola. This is the Kola. So Kola is an amazing person, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. And in today's video is going to be walking us through the step-by-step process on how to apply for your student visa in the United Kingdom. So you really want to grab popcorn, a cup of tea or juice or whatever it is, and a book and a pen so that you can take note of all the steps and the processes and then apply. If you are new here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Turn on your bell notifications so that you get notified every time a new video comes up. So let's get right into it. Hi, Kola.
Hello.
Okay, so please introduce yourself.
My name is Kolawole. Full stop.
Guys, you're going to pardon me because I laugh a lot. Anytime I have somebody here, they always make me laugh. And Kola is one of those clowns.
Anyways, I'm a student of Ulster University, Birmingham campus. I'm studying international business, and I've been here since May 2021. My course is 18 months, and I'm looking at completing my studies, my master's, in September 2021.
Yay! The same time as me, even though I came in July 2021. So yeah, he's my senior, but we're graduating together.
Oh, yeah, that's
because
I did the extended course.
Yeah. So can you please explain what the extended course is for anybody watching?
Okay. For most schools, if you don't meet the entry requirements for the straight up masters, or for some schools, they require that you take an extended graduate certificate. That's some call it pre-masters, some call it the extended course, some call it graduate certificate. So what that means is that you do a 3 months course. It's almost like a postgraduate, just to prepare you for the masters. It helps you, qualifies you for the masters. Passing that qualifies you for the masters. The entry requirements, people don't meet the entry requirement for a variety of reasons. For example, the most common one is if you graduate with a 3rd class and you need to do your masters, you need to do an extended course. If you're coming from if you did a course in the BSc that has no relationship whatsoever with what you want to study, you might have to do a graduate certificate course. Also, if you have no experience whatsoever, and depending on there are quite a lot of factors, but the major thing is if you don't meet the entry requirements up to the T, then you're required to do the extended course first before the masters. That
is so amazing. So one of the biggest questions I've gotten or that I've seen people ask is usually, okay, so I didn't make a 2-1, I didn't have a 1st class, I didn't have 2-2, can I do it? So another thing I would like to ask is extended masters also applicable to polytechnic, that's HND graduates?
Yes, if you finish with an HND in Nigeria, you have to do an extended course, the extended course, before you can do the master's straight up. So it helps, basically with an HND too. Yeah.
Alright, that's amazing. So if you have an HND, you know now that you do not have an excuse. So look for schools, look for courses that offers you extended masters. So the next thing, Kola, what is the first step in this process? Okay, so right now I'm watching this video and I'm making the decision that I want to come to the United Kingdom. Okay, maybe January is late now. May 2022. What is the first thing I need to do?
First thing is you need to congratulate yourself that you have taken a bold decision and you want to start over somewhere else. And then the very next thing is to gather all your certificates. You need every single one of them.
Right.
If you're married, you need your marriage certificate. You need your WAEC certificate, so that you don't have to write IELTS.
Right.
You need your graduate certificate in uni or polytechnic. You need your transcript. Some schools will allow you to apply with the student copy, but eventually you would need the original copy. You need your birth certificate.
Right.
Just in the case your parent or guardian is the one that is sponsoring you. That's if their account is the one you use for the proof of fund. You need what else do you need?
Then you,
I believe that's it.
Yeah. Then reference letter. Their references personal statement.
You need to take reference letter from your previous employer or from lecturer in the school. You need a personal statement for yourself showing why you are deciding to do this course at this time, what you intend to do with the course in the future, and what is prompting you or what has prompted you to do that course, basically. You also need a TB certificate.
Tuberculosis certificate.
Yeah, tuberculosis certificate. And the only place you can get that is in IOM, that's International Organization for Migration, and it's in GRE Ikeja. There are only two in Nigeria.
Right.
One is in GRE Ikeja and the other one is in Abuja.
Right.
In fact, I believe that it is, once you have congratulated yourself and you made up your mind that you want to move, it is the first thing you should do, because the queues are massive. To get an appointment is tough.
It's crazy.
Because everybody wants to leave Nigeria at the same time. And the good thing is the certificate is valid for 6 months. So if you do one now, you can keep on applying with it for the next 6 months.
Right. So
lastly, you need your Lastly, you need your international passport.
Of course.
If you have not got one, go and do it.
How do you travel without an international passport? Okay, so that's amazing. So guys, if you so I'm gonna do like, you can check the description box for the list of all of these things. They are right there, and you'll find them helpful, so you can write them out and tick them in your box. So if you need, like, for instance, CV writing services, personal statements, or reference letters and all of that, I'm also going to put a link. So I have a career advisory company that offers some of those services. I'm going to put a link also in the description box where you can book a session or speak to someone, and I'm sure you would like find it really, really helpful. So thank you, Kola, for those lists. So now I have everything that you have listed. What am I doing next?
What you do next is you shoot random shots. I mean, like, you first of all look at the schools that you want to go to. First, the course you want to go to and you want to study.
Right.
And then you look at the schools here in the UK that offer them.
Right.
If you're not that financially buoyant, I would advise you to avoid schools in London, except you have like extra money to spend.
Right.
Because the living wage and expense that you need to show for schools in London is really more than for those outside London.
Right.
Yeah. So search for schools, search for the courses that you want to do. Try to compare if these schools give discount and how much they give. Try to fit it within your financial projections for the time, and never apply to just one school. Apply to at least 5 schools so that you have options, and if one declines, you can go with the other, basically.
Guys, take it as you have said it. Never ever apply to just one school. Keep your options open, and then there are so many scholarship opportunities out there. You really never know. Just try. Sometimes some of these scholarships opportunities, like, it's not just Shevin. I know most people know about Shevin, but I'm saying that there are so many like other opportunities. Explore your options, and like, just try and apply for them. You never know. It might not be as hard as you think.
Right. And if your school gives you your admission letter, unconditional offer,
right,
and there is no stated what do you call it now, scholarship,
right,
there's a word
discount. There's no discount on your admission.
You should send them a mail and request for a discount. With very persuasive
excuses.
Writing, yeah.
So you just yeah, I guess that's clear, right? So now I've applied to 5 schools. I've gotten 3 offers, like you said, and like, I've gotten discounts on my offer. What's the next thing to do?
Well, I'm still going to go back to the beginning, because it's some of the things that you should do from the beginning.
Right.
If a man wants to build a house, he has to first of all count the cost.
Right.
And in counting the cost, we could just highlight what you'll be expecting to spend, basically. Fortunately, the route also allows you to come with your family. They can come on the dependent visa. So if you're married, I mean, you could bring your partner, and the good thing is your partner is not limited. They can work full time while you study, which is actually best because students are capped at 20 hours in a week, which for work, which is just enough to take care of your bills ish. So in counting the cost, some of the schools will require a 20 to 50% deposit depending on the school. Most schools offer a 20% deposit. When you get your unconditional offer, they require that you pay 20% deposit. It's usually around 2,000 for most schools. For some others, depending on the percentage of the school fees, you will be able to calculate. So you must have that money aside because it is one of the non-negotiables that you must have before you can make a move. Doing the TB test will cost you about 51,800.
No, 50,400.
50,400.
50,400 for TB test.
For TB test per person, per adult.
Naira.
Per adult, yes.
Per adult, yes.
For children, is under 11 is 11,800.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
You don't have a child yet, no?
Right. Do you have a child? You say my wife for child.
Oh well, I more or less consult with a group of maybe 200 or 300.
Yes.
Which most of them will be in the UK now, and a variety of questions that you have to answer, and I get to know these things in the course of this.
Guys, if you like to be a part of the group, you have to have an offer first from a UK university. Then you can comment in the DM, in the comment section. Drop a comment and let me know. Just signify that you have an offer letter, and then I'll speak to Kola. We'll see how we can add you to the group. It's the support group I spoke about in my previous video. It was very, very helpful. But you really have to have an offer letter. We don't just want anybody that is not serious on the group. So how you to know that you're serious and qualified for the group is your offer letter. So once you can prove that you have an offer from a school in the UK, then you can be added to the support group. You can ask all the questions that you want and have.
Yeah, and one thing is information usually is usually what empowers you to take hold of an opportunity.
Right.
Basically. So you should try to join various student groups. There's many on Telegram, some on WhatsApp.
Right. Even on Instagram.
Yeah.
Just do hashtag study abroad. You see so many options. And you just read their posts. From there, you know and see some to join.
Most specifically, you try to join the group of the ones that are related to the schools that you apply.
Right.
Because you get first-hand information affecting everybody there.
Right.
In most of the time. There's this lady, Chidera Peters. She has
the CP community.
Yeah, an amazing community on Telegram. It's a good place to start.
Yes.
The group that
she also has an Instagram account, so you can start by following the Instagram account. Then I'm certain that you'll find the link to join the community on Instagram.
And she's been guiding students for a bit, and she's been amazing, I believe.
Honestly, shout out to Chidera, because after you, Achanya was like my glue. That was where I learned a lot of things when we were planning to come to the UK. So yeah, Chidera Peters was like my number one go-to channel for everything and basic knowledge. So yeah, shout out to her.
Yeah, and reason is my group mostly is for students that have offers with my school.
Right.
But with Chidera Peters group is more or less like every school that you want to go to in the UK, you always find somebody there.
Right.
And from there you can you can meet your colleagues and settle in quickly. So yes, information, that's important. Counting the costs. So I mentioned that IOM is going to cost 50,800, 11,800 for children, per child.
Right, and per adult.
Per adult, yeah. And of course, I don't know the cost. The cost for getting your transcripts and your certificate.
Of course, it depended on schools.
Yeah, depending on the school. And you need to get that early, because if you went to the kind of university that I went to, it means that you have to travel down.
Right.
There's no automated process. You have to maybe even sleep over in an hotel or whatever.
What school was that, please?
Don't disgrace that.
If you went to Unilag, all you need to do is, log on online. Unilag lasts with people online. You'll be able to get it. Unilag is not hard. It's not hard. So I used my Unilag transcript, and it was in 2 days. I had it. In last week, you just send them email or call someone in last week.
If you don't go to Maolag, and you went to a private university, God has helped you, because it's his own way easier.
Yeah.
You most likely won't have these things. But for some of us that went to some of the schools that we went to, maybe low key.
School you went to EXU. What are you saying? You went to Ekiti State University. What do you mean?
You might have to.
I'm sure your school people are watching you and they are disappointed that you are not proud of the school.
I'm not even sure that the school people are appointed to this school. They are proud of the school. Anyways.
Oh my God.
So yes, get it. Try to get it, because I know a few people that wanted to come in January, and they applied for their transcript in October. They still haven't gotten it.
So they move.
Yeah. So yeah. What else? We're talking about costs.
Right.
You should know that the visa costs about $495.
Okay. So before we get to the visa, so you have all of these things now, like the transcript. Obviously, you need all the transcript and everything before you even apply to school, because without all of those things, the school would not consider your application.
Yeah.
So we're talking of after the offer and everything. So I want you to elaborate more on dependent for somebody that is coming with just their wife and their children. At what point will they include the family? At what point will the dependents have to come in? Because I understand that up to the point of what's it called, application with the school and everything, it is just the students that is applying. So at what point will the dependent and the family come?
So after you get an unconditional offer and you pay your deposit, most schools, like we said, is from 20 to 50%. Most of the schools that are saying is 20,000,
£2,000. Yes, initial deposit 2,000 to 3,500, 3,000.
So yeah. After you pay that, they will schedule what is called a PCI, which is a Pre-CAS interview. The objective of the Pre-CAS interview is to give you a CAS document. Now, the CAS document is called confirmation. CAS means confirmation of acceptance of studies. And that CAS is what you take to the embassy to apply for your visa. Now, to apply for the visa, you need 70 points for student visa, and CAS takes 50 points. So that's how important it is to the entire process. So when they schedule the Pre-CAS interview, some schools will ask you if you're coming with your family. I think most schools, or if you're coming with a dependent.
Right.
Most schools will ask you, and then you inform them that you're coming with a dependent. What it simply means is that you also must be able to show the living expense for both yourself and for your dependents for 9 months.
Right.
We'll go back to living expense when we go back to counting the cost. So yes, that's mostly the very first point, that you include your dependent on the visa. And your dependent can be, just your husband to the entire family. If you have children, you can move. And then after you get the CAS, the next thing will be to apply for the visa. And applying for the visa means that after you are done with your application as the main applicant, or you can all apply together. These things are simple things that you can do by yourself. Just go to the UK government website, apply for the visa, and if you're a dependent, apply as a dependent. Simple and short. Pay the fees, and you're good.
So the visa application process now for each and everyone, what are the things that people need to be aware of? Because I know that this is the part where everybody's afraid, where they are now looking for agents, or they want to pay somebody to fill it for them. What are the things that people need to be very careful about while applying for visa?
Well, number one, you must have the required living expense in order. The UK says that you must show £1,023 for 9 months per person, which is about 9,236 9,200 plus pounds per person as statement, and this is in addition to the balance of your school fees minus the deposit that you paid. So it means that for yourself you'll be declaring 9,200 plus pounds. For your partner, for each dependent on your visa, you'll be declaring the same amount, and then you add the balance of your school fees, and that would be what you would show to the embassy as the proof that you have the required expense to apply for that visa. Now, the living expense, it makes up the other 20% that you need for the 70% for the visa. Remember, I told you that CAS is 50% and the living expense is 70%. Now, why CAS carries all of that is because when doing this pre-CAS interview, the school most likely would ask you every question that the embassy was supposed to ask you. Yeah, why you want to study this course, how many modules are in that course, which module are you looking forward to, what do you intend to do with this course when you're done.
You're already entering pre-CAS interview. There's going to be another episode for pre-CAS interview. So I'm doing, there's going to be another video for pre-CAS interview, so not to worry. We have we're going to make everything easy for you. So but yeah, stay tuned and watch this till the end. So thank you very much. So you clearly stated what is needed for visa application, but the part I really want you to the part that nobody actually, the unspoken rules of visa applications, what are the things people need to be careful. For instance, if I've had visa rejection 2 or 3 times, should I declare or should I not declare? So my proof of fund, how am I sure that the amount I have, for instance, what I need for a family of 3 is 25 million naira. So how am I certain that 25 million naira will be enough? What can I do to make sure that exchange rates does not affect me and all of those things? So all the unspoken rules is what we want people to be aware of.
So first things first, when the UK wants you to show the money, they want you to show the naira equivalent of the pounds.
Right.
Yep. And they do not use the CBN rate or the black market rate to judge how much the money should be. There's a site, it's called Wanda. That's OANDA.
Right.
O and A. Wanda. So you can check the exchange rate of naira to pounds, and that's what you use to calculate the amount you need to show for your proof of fund.
Right.
However, it is mostly advisable that you put maybe an extra 1,000 pounds or an extra 1,500 pounds or 2,000 pounds if it's a family, because exchange rates sometimes within the space you need to show this amount for 28 days. That's the requirement, and within those 28 days the exchange rate could go up and go down. And if it goes down or if it goes up and your money is not enough, that might put your application in jeopardy. Again, especially as the 20% is very vital to your visa application. Well, for student visa, everything that you need is just the CAS and the finance. Yes. The best way to put your application in jeopardy is to lie that you've had or you've not had the visa refusal when you had. Now the thing is, before they used to be lenient with these things. They won't check. Once they see the CAS, they'll just stamp it. But as people began to increasingly do corny stuff, they also began to increasingly be thorough in checking out the applications. It would interest you to know that the UK VI shares information with most of their allied countries, and that would mean the United States, the United States, Canada, Australia, and so many countries that are allies of the US, of course. So it means that they most likely have a database that they will just run your name and date of birth by, and it will show will show your previous travel history. Now, so if you lie, they've caught you, and it is automatic refusal. There's nothing that you can do about it. They most likely will give you a travel ban, a visa ban. It could be for 10, 20 years.
Right.
According to the discretion of whoever, is laying down the law on your application, basically. So yes, please never lie.
Right.
If you've had previous refusal, it's not going to affect your application whatsoever.
Yeah.
So long as you have your CAS and you have your proof of fund
and every other thing in check.
If you have a previous, if they have any questions, they will call you to ask. Basically, that's why you must make sure that you do your CAS, pre-CAS interview and do it well, and know some of this stuff, so that if they call you from the embassy, you can reply, give them good response.
Right. Awesome. Thank you so much, Kola. So, are there any other ones that we're missing out that people need to know? There are unspoken rules nobody tells you. For instance, there are so many people that have made mistakes of not declaring because people advised them not to, and then got them into trouble. So you guys need to be careful. If you're not sure of anything, you can always ask. For instance, if you come back here in 1 year time and you're watching this video and you ask a question, I'm sure that I will see it, or somebody else can see it and answer them. So, but then, like we advised earlier, it's very, very good for you to find a community. That way you have people that can respond to you without collecting anything from you instantly. So really, processing this thing does not necessarily need an agent, to be honest. It doesn't need an agent. It's something you can do by yourself.
I've heard of people spend millions on naira.
Do you understand? Ridiculous agents.
People, basically do it by themselves.
Right. People collect, they rip your head off for.
The thing is, most of the agents have a partnership with the school. Right. So if the school pays them for every student that they bring in.
Right.
But many of them like to eat from both ends of the spectrum.
Right.
Collect money from the school, which
it's not good. It's not a good thing.
Because most of the time the amount that they even place on their services is actually quite ridiculous.
Right. But in defense of the good ones, because there are still good agents out there, really sometimes they put in the effort and the work also, and people just slide them after applying to schools and everything for them, and then they don't see the people anymore. So sometimes they put a charging fee. So for instance, in my opinion, I feel like if you're working with any agents, they shouldn't charge you more than 100,000 naira as service charge for the whole of your application, inclusive of your visa and everything. They shouldn't charge you more than 100,000 naira, really.
So we're talking about unspoken rules, and I remember one.
Right.
So many people, you need to look at your certificates properly. Make sure that the names correspond.
Right.
The name on your birth certificate is as the same on your passport. It's as the same on the bank accounts, if any. It's as the same on, all of your documents across board. If your parents is going to be the one, or your guardian is going to be the one, sponsoring your education and showing the proof of funds, you need to make sure that you have a birth certificate, the original. If you can no longer find your original, you might have to go to local government for a reissue. You need to make sure that they write the letter, address it to UKVI, promising to sponsor your education or taking responsibility for your education.
Yeah. That's if your parents is the one sponsoring it.
Yep. Yeah. And they have to sign it. So yes, these are important things. For some people, NIN, something between
BVN, everything.
BVN,
all of those things, make sure that you are
yeah,
consistent across board.
Some people, their NIN is not on their passport, or the name or date of birth on their NIN is different. So you need to make sure that all of these things are intact so that you don't get stuck in the middle of your application.
Yes, in addition to that, if you are married and you have changed your name, because I changed my name before I applied, and that means all my other credentials had my father's name. It was just my passport and the the new identity cards that had my husband's name, but the only thing I did was to show all my proof, the proof of change of name. I included like my newspaper publication, all of those things. I included them and the reason, so that anybody that was reviewing my application would see that, okay, this person got married was why the name changed. So it's very important. Even schools will ask you. So because I applied with my husband's name to school, so they asked why my name was different, and I showed all the proof to the school.
God willing.
Very super, please be serious. So yeah, Kola, basically I just wanted to know if we're missing anything. So after all of this application, what is the waiting period like? What is the, like, going to the visa place? Are they going to interview you? What is the waiting period like? And then once you get your visa, what are you supposed to do? So that we keep it short.
From the time you make the initial application to the school to the time they give you an offer, whether conditional, unconditional, or no offer, it should take about 3 weeks.
Yeah. Right.
If they give you a conditional offer, there will be really list of conditions to fulfill to make it unconditional. It could take another 3 or 2 weeks for the unconditional one to come. After that, between that and your CAS, could take also another 3 weeks.
Right, that's 9 weeks.
Yeah, that's about 9 weeks, 6 to 9 weeks basically. And then for the visa, if you do the priority visa, it will take you 5 to 7 days. And for the standard visa, about 15 working days. The visa fee is $495 US. You must also pay insurance, health insurance, we call it IHS surcharge. That's about £745. Of course, you are going to pay this amount in dollars per person.
Right, per person.
Per person.
Yeah. And
once you pay that, your visa application goes through. Depending on what you apply for, priority will take an extra $200. And if you apply to the UK VI Decision Center in VI, it costs an extra £55. You choose a date for your biometrics. You go to do your biometrics, you take your fingerprint, take your picture, all of that. And when your visa comes out, voila, congratulations. You can start to make travel arrangements. And of course, do not forget that you have to start to make accommodation arrangements as soon as you apply for the visa.
Right.
So I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you.
See you soon, hopefully.
Thank you so much, Kola. So guys, that's all. Like, if you follow every step that has been highlighted in this video, I'm certain that you're on your way to the UK in the next academic session. So please ask all your questions in the comment section. I'll be right there responding, and I'm sure Kola would be responding to some also, as whenever it's opportune, so we'll just ask all your questions. There'll be a separate video on accommodation. I'm trying to work around that, and then there'll be a separate video on pre-CAS interview. And like, the pre-CAS interview is also the one that you get asked just in case UKVI decides to call you. So there's going to be a separate video on that. So thank you guys for watching. If you watched to this point, oh my goodness, I love you so much. Thank you. Please drop a comment. Let me know if you found this video helpful in the comment section. And bye till next time. Bye. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.